Caesar and Cleopatra. From the series Under Neptune's Flag.
Egypt, 48 BC.
On days like this, the sea is at its loveliest, when the sun is mirrored in endless blue, when ships seem to glide effortlessly over the surface, and waves softly caress the shore. But the sea doesn't always wear its Sunday smile. Unpleasant grey clouds are often the prelude to thunderstorms and wild waves. It's no different to the rest of the world in Egypt, and a sphinx knows that there are certain things it can look forward to. Mind you, the thought of a bath makes no impression on its stony stare. The sphinx is world famous for the tricky riddle it poses to travellers. But who is responsible for this wild weather? That's a puzzle, even for the sphinx itself, and one which it might have to scratch its head over for quite a while, if it could scratch its head. We, as enlightened people of the 20th century, know exactly who's behind it.
Attention, please. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A little more pace, Aquatintus. Very good. Don't go to sleep, violence. A little more feeling. A little more caviar in the works, please. Well done, children. That sounds much smoother. And again, Aquatintus. Aquabella, not so restrained. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I like you playing more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I like you playing more. You're holding back, Aquatintus. Now the finale, Furioso. Lay the third lever and hang on tight. Orchestra's in great form today. We owe our audience an encore, don't we?
I'm going to report them to the animal welfare.
Pick up your instruments and conductor's rage will be terrible.
Watch out! Oh, he's so greedy. First he snaps up the old man's cap. Then he gobbles up all our greasing caviar we use on the wheels.
Every man for himself!
He's gone crazy!
Just you wait, you'll be sorry that enough's never enough for you. You may spit or hiss or roar and bark, but you're stuck in a trap, you gluttonous shark.
Terrific!
Thanks for the applause.
Laurels to the victor!
Oh, that really wasn't.
Long live Aquamarinas!
Who do I look like?
Isn't he the spitting image of Gaius Julius Caesar? The Roman Emperor has set his vessel on course for the land of the Nile.
And now I suggest that here in Egypt we continue our famous Caesarean strategy of I came, I saw, I conquered. Is that clear, Romulus?
I understand, great Emperor. Veni, vidi, pipi. Our fleet will put fear into these Egyptians. Our galley slaves aren't exactly as fresh as daisies anymore, but our drummers are keeping them awake.
We have a powerful fleet, and the pressure of our galleys creates a fearsome picture. But what concerns me is not our military superiority. I'm much more uncertain what we'll do with Cleopatra, the lovely, proud ruler of Alexandria.
In my opinion on this point, too, we should fall back on well-tried methods.
As yet, there was no inkling of the impending Roman invasion in the thriving capital on the Egyptian coast.
My mistress of Roman battle fleet is heading for our harbour, and we've slept through their approach. Against so many soldiers, resistance would be fatal. Flee to safety, my mistress.
I refuse to creep into my pyramid just for their sake.
But, my mistress, the word is that Great Caesar not only breaks the resistance of his enemies, but also the hearts of all
Stupid
women.
gossip! I order these ships to be sunk.
Oh, I'm going to collapse. We're just about finished. They think we want to open a second-hand shop down here. They ought to leave their junk somewhere else and not here with us. This is unbearable. I'll show them.
Not so hot-headed, my boy. A bump like that on the brain can hurt, but the anger of a king can cause more pain. This is the scepter of the Egyptian pharaohs, and we may not keep it under any circumstances. It would be an affront to majesty, wouldn't it? I must take it back as quickly as possible, or the pyramids will tremble. But I can't appear at the palace with laurels on my head. Hold on to it. Ouch!
She'll go weak at the knees. Ah, hail, my queen! The commander of the royal guard reports for duty. You summoned me, so I clothed my loins and hurried to your side. Mistress of my heart, my body and soul stands at your service. I'm ready to accomplish any feat at your command.
I'm dispensing with your services as of now because it's emerged that you are in no way qualified to fulfill the demands of a queen adequately. You should have stopped the Roman invasion. You miserable failure.
But, my queen, don't beat me so. Oh, please, mercy. Oh, don't, mercy. Oh, 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 oh. Please don't have me killed, queen. Oh, oh.
Take that! My torturers will finish the job. Did you think it would be enough to make eyes at the Queen instead of fulfilling your duty? You are sentenced to death, Dick Spittle. I detest people like you. Death is the best thing for you, you worm. Oh, get this crybaby out of my sight. I can't stand the sight of him.
Even if I don't think much of women as bosses, you've got to give her this. She's sensitive but fair.
Have pity. Don't do this to me. Ah, no, no. Ah, ah, oh.
The Queen's appointed an executioner for you, who's just as smooth and
I'd
forthcoming
much
as
rather
yourself.
go to the crocodiles. Oh, no. Ooh, ah, oh.
Oh, no. So, this is the famous Alexandria. Let's pay the Queen a visit, shall we? Oh, dear, here she comes.
I have terrible news for you, mistress. Really terrible news.
Nothing is so important that it can't wait until I've taken my seat upon the throne of Egypt.
Oh, Cleopatra, ruler of all the crocodiles on the Nile. Caesar's won the battle. We are lost. He's even taken the symbol of majesty unto himself and is now in the palace. Oh, woe is me! Woe is me!
If Caesar is really as great as he's said to be, let him come here and deal with me man to man.
Your Majesty, I regret disturbing you.
So, come nearer, my dear. I can hardly wait to get to know you a little better.
This is unbelievable. She's talking to me.
Your reputation has preceded you. Egypt greets its new conqueror. Allow me on behalf of my country to fold you into my arms. Oh! Oh! Everything's going wrong today. All the good gods have forsaken me.
Meanwhile, Caesar has drawn up his troops in front of the palace and is on tenterhooks to know if this legendary queen really is so beautiful.
Woman is a thoroughbred. Reminds me of Liz Taylor, Egyptian through and through. I warn you, if you don't greet us respectfully, we shall be offended.
And you are a bitter disappointment to me, Caesar. A coward who takes to his heels when he meets a woman, leaving only a puddle behind.
I'll show you no one speaks like that to the ruler of the Roman Empire without being punished. I won't put up with being accused of being a puddle. I don't have to take that from a hieroglyph. Do you need a good spanking? Oh.
How dare you! Get away from me! Take that! This is my land, and I can say what I like. Let go of me, you Roman lout! You barbarian, you chauvinist pig! Oh, stop it! I'll have you thrown to the crocodiles to feast on. That's what I'll do.
Look out, run for it!
Once again, Caesar has resolved a diplomatic conflict with his forceful arguments.
We're agreed then. The bond between Rome and Egypt is sealed. A few museum pieces were shattered in the process, but it was worth it. Now, swear the oath.
I solemnly vow to submit myself to the rule of the Roman Empire.
What's the weather forecast? Where do we stir up the sea? Our mission in Egypt is complete as of now. Children, pack up your things or the weather forecast won't be right. The barometer in the Aegean indicates a storm tomorrow. Don't look so desolate. We don't want hundreds of weather experts jumping out of their fifth-floor office windows again. And besides, it isn't far. Past Cyprus and Rhodes and we're there.
I haven't seen a pyramid. Travel's supposed to broaden the mind.
We're nearing Sicily. Coming up from the south, round the western tip. We pass Palermo, and then we have to get the wind machine going near the coast of Italy. But to make sure you put some energy into it, we need to build up our strength. Oh, that smells wonderful. I think for this Egyptian seaweed porridge, Spimonella has earned special leave.
Even though our friends have turned their back on the land of the pharaohs, the chapter Caesar and Cleopatra is not yet closed. The Roman emperor sets his fleet on course for Italy and has a particularly charming souvenir of Egypt on board. Caesar is at peace with himself and the world. With this original pharaohette, the great conqueror can once again create a mighty impression in Rome.
The Romans will prepare a triumphant reception for you, Cleo. We're arranging a banquet in your honor, too. It'll make you forget all your Egyptian tidbits forever.
Then you'll have to think up something special. I don't find pizza and spaghetti anything to write home about. I know the specialities of all the civilized countries, Julius.
If you would interrupt your manicure for 1 second, you could take a look at Ostia. Breathtaking, isn't it? The Roman Empire lies at your feet.
And at this moment, our friends are more or less under Caesar's feet, standing dumbfounded by their wave machine. With it wrecked like this, the most they can hope to do is ruffle the sea a little.
Oh boy, it's completely wrecked. We're going to have to work overtime to get it back into action by tomorrow.
It certainly looks like it, son.
Hey, with Spimonella working, it'll be quicker and naturally it'll help you with the repair work.
Oh, no, please don't. I can't let you do that. Enjoy your special leave. Go for a swim somewhere, my dear. You've earned it.
That's so sweet of you, Charles.
Oh, hello, sweetheart.
Maybe I'll meet Leonardus DiCaprius on the Lido. In this get-up, I could bowl over the strongest gladiator. Oh, that hurts! Let go of me! This is no way to treat a water sprite.
Oh.
They caught your cook. She may be as much fish or fowl, but she was never meant to go on a fish hook. You've got to do something.
I certainly will do something, because I sent Spimonella off on her swim. You've got my word as a great Neptunian that I'll get her out of this fix she's in. You mark my words, I'll get her.
As the high spot of our menu, O mighty Caesar, we're offering our guests roast mermaid with mozzarella cheese.
I think that would be to Cleo's taste.
Well, actually, I expected a bit more of Cleopatra. She'd be nothing without all that makeup. You men just can't see it.
Countrymen, friends, lend me your ears for a moment. We have spared neither cost nor efforts to present something very special in honour of our enchanting royal guest, fresh crispy mermaid. That's the special dish on the menu today.
Oh, boy, I'm impressed. You can't get that in Egypt, not even deep frozen.
Now let us raise a cup to your health, divine mistress of Egypt.
Well, that's wonderful. The old boy's usually too stingy to buy seafood for his feasts.
Don't be so nasty, Brutus. I think your stepfather is great. He can charm any woman, even at his age. Antony, what do you think, you old philanderer?
It's typical Caesar. He fobs his strongest rivals off with roast mermaid, and while they're busy guzzling, he has Queen Cleopatra all to himself.
Tough luck, Prince Charming. This time you'll have to come to terms with it. Cleopatra is said to have sworn fidelity to him unto death.
I'll go and see how the mermaid's cooking. Ah, help! Fish napping! It's taken the food out of our mouths! Someone's made off with our main course! Now she'll end up in the tin like tuna. I could kill that old boy.
Save!
Dear fellow diners, I have to make a distressing announcement to you. We have to forego the pleasure of fresh fish woman as our main course because she's mysteriously left the building. She's no longer here.
Spare us your long drawn-out speeches. We don't believe a word of it. You've spirited her away so that you and your lover can eat her by yourselves.
You tyrant, you could have at least let us have a taste. But I'm going to eat the strawberry ice cream alone. That I swear.
Ooh.
Die, tyrant. Take it, Caesar. And another thing, mighty Caesar. As a writer, you're a dead luff.
You too, Brutus, my son. You could have talked this thing through. This obsession you've got with eating fish.
Oh, my love, save yourself. Turn yourself into a puddle again.
And so, in the year 44 BC, according to our calendar, the great Gaius Julius Caesar died over a mermaid. Official histories have remained tactfully silent over the true circumstances up till now. All Rome paid him a final tribute.
I admit that he deserves credit for his services to the Roman Empire, but underneath he was nothing but a crook. First he made our mouths water with mermaid fillet, and then he claimed that Sunday roast had mysteriously vanished. It's laughable. When I am Caesar, there'll be fish and circuses for all. Ha! Antony's making up to the old girl already.
It's true,
Just
I'm
look
married,
at that.
but if you feel lonely,
This oaf has the manners of a slave. I'm fed up to the back teeth with Romans, and my love life is on ice again. Caesar wasn't too bad, his greying temples, his razor-sharp wit. On the other hand, if I really think about it, Antony undoubtedly has his qualities, his jet black hair and his Olympian physique. Brains or beauty, that's the question.
Get lost, pretty boy.
Yeah, you're dead.
Oh, what rotten luck. What stupidity to swear an oath that I'd be true to him for the rest of my life. What could have possessed me?
And that's why Brutus stabbed Caesar. We've done it again, haven't we? Our mistake has turned the whole of world history upside down. The fate of the Roman Empire ran a completely different course because of us. Everything would have happened quite differently had it not been for Spimonella. Caesar would still be alive, and poor Cleopatra wouldn't be a widow on her way to Alexandria in a luxury galley. I think the least I can do is apologize to her. What do you think, kids? You agree, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so. We agree with you absolutely. You have to apologise to the Queen. I just
get a
hope you don't
toga
learn
in a
the business
twist.
this time.
But before you show up in front of her, you should try to get that greenery off your head. That's a good idea.
Perhaps you'd like to tell me how. It's really awful. What's fun for Aquaphilius means trouble for the rest of us.
At the same time, another well-known travel plan is being hatched in all secrecy. Its motives are quite different, but its goal is also the Nile.
I'm coming, Egypt, and with the aid of these muscles, Cleo will allow herself to melt a piece of cake, really.
Where are you hiding now? Aha! What's this? You've packed? Are you going off on another trip, leaving all the housework to me?
I'm afraid so, Butterfly. A sudden business trip has come up. A man in my position has to live with that. I'd much rather do the vacuuming for you. I'll bring back something pretty for you. A washing-up slave from Milos, perhaps.
Don't change the subject. I know your business trips. There's probably a woman involved somehow. Who is the unlucky girl this time? Come on, talk. I'll find out sooner or later. But if it's one of my friends, I'll tell you. I'm not making myself a laughing stock. Anthony, you're awful.
That notorious nag of Greek legend Xanthippe can't have been any worse than my Butterfly, but for now I'm rid of her.
Mark Antony would surely have been less confident had he known who else was on course for Alexandria, but we don't want to get ahead of our story. After a calm crossing, the Roman galley pulled into the harbour. The sea had been as calm as a mill pond all the way. No wonder, since our storm merchants had also been undertaking a voyage. Antony had thought everything out carefully. He would get divorced, move in with Cleopatra, and become pharaoh. The Queen can't let a splendid catch like me go begging, he thought.
Hello, I'm the new pharaoh. Let me pass, eh? Here's my ID.
You may pass.
A guest who says he must speak to you says he's called Anthony.
I can imagine what he wants, but I can't welcome him. I swore eternal fidelity to Caesar,
And
didn't
by
I?
Queen, in that case, your dynasty will die out.
When I look at it that way, perhaps I should receive him. Send him in and I'll talk to him. As Queen, it is my duty to put my private interests behind those of my country.
I love you, Cleopatra. I idolize you. I lay my heart at your feet. I'll fetch you the stars from the sky. I beseech you, I can
Please,
no
don't
longer
go
live
on,
without
Antony.
you.
You know I've sworn to be faithful to my husband, to the grave and beyond.
Hello, chaps.
Halt, stranger. If you want to see the Queen, you must apply for an audience 6 months in advance.
Bet you I can get in
I
anyway.
warn you.
Cleopatra, Oh!
Oh, my Isis and Osiris!
Somehow I get the feeling I'm interrupting something. Actually, I only
Caesar,
came to...
I have betrayed you. I deserve to die,
That's nonsense, noble queen. I think there's a misunderstanding here. What are you doing, silly? Open the door. I want to clear something up and make a full apology to you. That's all I want. It's definitely not my style to force my way into the bedrooms of strange ladies, but I have no choice if I'm going to save your life. Oh, where is she? No!
Cleopatra's tragic end lay heavily on Aquamarinus' soul for a long time. On the journey to the next wave machine, he kept asking himself, is this how it would be told in the history books someday?